That's Holly Star, me and you, on the hottest mix of Christian music. This is C-Pop. It's off of her CD, Focus. Available on iTunes and at Amazon.com and wherever Christian music CDs are sold. Get a copy of Focus. That song, Me and You, part of it, plus many, many, many good songs that right now I do run on our stream on Live 365, where we just play the music there. Just a lot of issues in the past with Live 365 and broadcasting live. So, you know, as DJ Jesse from Rackman Radio and I say, let it go, let it play. You know, I forgot the exact words we used last night. It wasn't anything bad, man. DJ Jesse and I, brothers from another mother, in the same type of ministry, which is the music, the radio ministry, putting it out for God. And he does a fantastic job, man. I mean, his show is growing leaps and bounds. And he's got promotion up the yin-yang, so to speak, man. So shout out to DJ Jesse, Rackman Radio. From your brother from another mother here. I'm DJ John, here on C-Pop. You know, also your partner in broadcasting. We like to plug each other. Anyway, we're up to today's installment of The Militant Church, the book from Lester Summerall, which talks about warfare strategies for today's Christians. And we're up to studying God's strategy to think militantly. That's the installment for today. There's never been a great general who did not sit down and calculate how to defeat the enemy. A great general will consider the terrain. You know, such as mountains, deserts, woods, cities, and towns. The distance, and what the opposing army's strength is. We should study how best to take nations. We should ask the Lord how to reach a nation with the gospel. Some years ago, I was told that if you go to a capital city of a third world country and build a mighty center for evangelism, you can evangelize the entire nation. So, wow. A lot of this is his personal stuff that I'm looking at, Lester Summerall's personal stuff. You know, Lester Summerall has stated that at any rate he went to Manila, and at first it seemed the devil was defeating them. He went to church a number of times, and with no one there but him, his wife, and his sons. So he was asked, what did you do? Well, he had church. He said that they sang, prayed, shouted, and he preached. Talking about Lester Summerall. He said that he did everything but take up an offering. There is no need to take up an offering if there is no one there but your family. But they were determined to have a church in that city. Then the girl who was in jail was bitten severely on her body by devils. And suddenly the newspapers were full of the story of this strange phenomenon every day for about 3 weeks. He was busy, since Lester was so busy trying to build the church that he was not reading newspapers or listening to the radio. And he knew nothing. He knew nothing about it. By the time it was brought to his attention, she cursed one doctor who had laughed at her, and then that doctor died. The head man at the prison kicked her. She cursed him, and that man died. They did not get sick, they just dropped dead. Fear was over the entire city, but Mr. Summerall did not know anything about it. He was so busy building that he learned that you have to get outside your own church. If you don't, you are never going to bless this world. However, he was doing something courageous. He had bought a B-52 hangar and was building a place to seat 2,000 people when he only had 5 people attending church at that point. Everyone said he's crazy. But Lester said what he was doing is like a farmer who builds a barn before the harvest. If he doesn't, he will lose the harvest. He was just building the barn. God is going to bring in the harvest, and the barn is going to be full. The day they dedicated that church, you could not get within 2 blocks of the place. They were jam-packed inside the building, and they were there to see what God had done. God used the poor little 17-year-old girl in jail to begin their ministry in the Philippines. That is strategy. See, now we need to study God's strategy in the Word and in Christian books. If you earnestly seek Him and ask God to show you His strategy, you will begin to see how God operates. Strong, powerful. Speaking of strong and powerful, that interview with my brother Jericho is coming up next here on the hottest mix of Christian music. You're listening to C-Pop.
I'm in almost every school bus and classroom. I go to school with your children. We say the Pledge of Allegiance together. You've seen me around the neighborhood, and you've told me I'm a pretty good kid. Well, I'm one out of every 4 children in America, and I'm struggling with hunger. This problem is closer than you think. My teacher tells me we could grow up and be whatever we want. I want to grow up and be someone who doesn't go to bed hungry. There's enough food in this country to feed everyone. Please visit feedingamerica.org today and find your local food bank for ways to help. Every dollar you donate helps provide 7 meals for kids like me, quietly struggling with hunger. Together, we're Feeding America. Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Thanks for listening to the hottest mix of Christian music, C-Pop. As you know, C-Pop is a radio ministry that loves God, loves people, and serves the world with God's music. Now, ministries have expenses, and C-Pop is no different in that department. So we ask you to please go to our website, cpopchristianmusic.com, and make a donation securely through PayPal. And thank you from the hottest mix of Christian music, C-Pop.
Hello. Yeah. I felt like when I separated myself from the world, it was like a relationship, a bad breakup, and the world said I was cold as ice. In the dirt, I was raised in them pines. Got the rays on my eyes, boy, I ain't blind. I can see them stunned a mile away. Let me introduce myself, I am Jay. No more bears messing with their head. Soft like Kleenex, boy, what's next? You gonna talk about your gun, brag about your rad, talk about your pride, don't you know? That begin to fall a man. Yes, I am everything that I say I am. Flyer than a birdman, buck wild. Been a hot boy ever since I was a juvenile. See now, maybe just a little. Like some peanut butter, M&M, Skittles, face the flow. I can't make it rain though. Precipitation is bad on the cash flow. Get it now, I gotta go. Choke code, submit no demo. Get signed by the live show. Let's roll. Teachers couldn't teach them. Boy, so dope, should have been born in a bag of reefer. Believe them, believe me, I am him, I am them. Po kids, get your hands up, this is our anthem. Can't stand it, it's a shame. I see through your raps like window panes. Fame, sex, rock and roll and drugs. Let me guess, boy, you're a certified thug. I'ma make you eat them words and I ain't talking about utensils. The only let you pop is your number 2 pencil. I get it popping like some fish grease. And if you think I'm soft as pie, here I am, get a piece, get a slice, get a life before you start dealing with mine. And if you're talking cash, boy, you better walk the line. Be careful when you tell people you gon' get me. I got a 6 cent, like a nickel and a penny.
We're back here on the hottest mix of Christian music. You're listening to C-Pop, ladies and gentlemen. The young man is on the phone. I met him at Night of Joy. Was very touched by some of the stuff that he has on, that I have seen on up on stage, I should say. All right, but I'm going to give this man the proper introduction. He deserves this because he's really good. He's really a nice young man. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, the DJ John Show and C-Pop Christian Radio proudly present to you. We call him Jericho. What's up, bud?
What's up, man? I like that introduction.
I'm glad you did, man. Glad you did. Welcome to C-Pop. We've been working through this, and I'm just so glad to have you on. You know, as I said, you're one of the nicest young men that I've met from Night of Joy. So,
well, man, I appreciate it, man. I don't know, man. I'm humbled by the whole experience, and it's cool to me that anyone even wants to hear my story, and so it's a blessing, man. I'm just humbled about everything, and it's just cool that I get to tell my story through music. You know. Yes,
that's an awesome thing. You know, when you have the gift that you have, the gift of rapping, the gift of writing, and giving it up to God. That is something that no one should take lightly. And and I when I met you, I was able to see that light shining through you, and even in the hot Florida sun at Disney World, was able to feel that feel the light that you have. So I just wanted to relay that to you.
I appreciate it. It was hot that day, wasn't it?
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I mean, let's put it like this: anyone who was selling water or soda or tea or whatever, I kept them in business that day. So,
yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to introduce you to what I call the C-Pop Nation. My listeners here at C-Pop. And tell us a little bit about Jericho.
All right. Well, my name is Jericho, and when I first named myself that, I had people like, why would you name yourself Jericho? In the Bible, that city got, destroyed. And the whole story behind that is I was a secular artist, and I had all these walls built up and all this hurt and all this really pain from religion, and I just I had a relationship with religion in the past instead of Jesus,
Mm-hmm.
And so I felt like when I started new, God gave me the name Jericho, and He tore my walls down, and He told me not to rebuild them, and so that's how I came up with the name Jericho.
That's deep, man. That's deep. Tell us about some of the things that you have coming up. Whether an album coming out, tours, whatever you want to, tell us what's coming up.
All right. Well, here's what's going on right now. I've got an album coming out. It